We have another major red flag for Zack Snyder's upcoming Rebel Moon Netflix film series. The first red flag was when Zack Snyder claimed that a non-binary character that is featured in the film brings heart to the upcoming film series. This latest red flag is that they're actually creating a prequel comic book series, and it's coming from one of the most ultra woke and pro-transgender creators out there who previously threatened to beat people with a bat. Yes, indeed. So here, let's get into these details here. Zack Snyder announced that his upcoming Rebel Moon Netflix film series will receive a prequel comic series to be published by Titan Comics and written by Brian Visaggio, who claims to be a woman and uses the name Mags Visaggio. Snyder made the announcement on X, where he wrote, "Excited to announce that the Rebel Moon universe is expanding beyond the screen with a prequel comic series. Issue 1 of Rebel Moon House of the Blood Axe will be published by Titan Comics on January 10, 2024, and available wherever comics are sold." In a press release provided to us by Titan Comics, revealed that the prequel series will be a, quote, 4-part comic series written by Eisner-nominated Mags Visaggio with art by Clark Bint and colors from Francesco Segala. The first issue is expected to feature a number of variant covers from Stanley Archer-Lau, Rafael Albuquerque, Baltimore Rivas, Andrea Olimpiaro, and Bint. As for the story, the official description says, set 5 years before the events depicted in Rebel Moon, Part 1, A Child of Fire. The comic House of the Blood Axe provides backstory for the characters of Devra and Daring Blood Axe, leaders of a band of outlaw revolutionaries played by Cleopatra Coleman and Ray Fisher, and their formidable family's history. It continues as war is looming on the horizon of the planet Shasu. The leader of the Blood Axe family is conflicted between living up to his father's domineering legacy and maintaining the peace. It is up to him to settle the conflicts within himself and his family before the entire planet erupts in war. You can see some of the preview pages here. Interestingly, the press release also declares this 4-issue prequel series as, quote, essential reading for anyone who wants to know more about the rich and expansive lore of the Rebel Moon universe. It does note that while Visaggio is writing the comic, the story comes from Snyder. It says, with an original story from Zack Snyder himself, the comic carries the same levels of drama, action, and high emotional stakes that the director is known for. Snyder issued a statement as part of the press release. He said, I'm excited to collaborate with Mags to explore the rich and complex backstory of the Blood Axe siblings. In Rebel Moon House of the Blood Axe, fans will get to discover their motivation as well as the genesis of the rebellion. And then Visaggio described the series thus: it's all extremely personal, a family in conflict with its patriarch who is in conflict with himself at a moment when they need to be united. It's a story about failure and the consequences of failure. So Visaggio is an absolutely terrible comic book writer. If you've read anything that he has written, it's just absolute garbage. Sci-Fi Channel tried to do a live-action adaptation of his Vagrant Queen show or comic book. It was completely trashed after one season. It was one of the worst shows ever created. Never should have been created. So this person has no talent when it comes to comic book writing. But on top of that, this person is a massive, massive activist. Just here's an example of this. This is from back in 2017. Hard to see here, but basically just going on about quote-unquote transgender rights and stuff like this, and then eventually threatening to beat people who do not agree with him up with a baseball bat. This is what he wrote. He said, I'm done with this, so F you cis a-holes, F your BS, get ready for a baseball bat to the teeth. This is not someone I would ever want to work with. This person sounds completely unhinged, and if you look at a lot of Visaggio's stuff in the past, he is indeed that. He wanted to trans. We just found out that he wanted to trans Superboy for DC. Fortunately, DC told him no. At that point, I'm surprised they did. That's quite shocking from DC, given all of the stuff that they've been promoting over there. But this is a massive red flag for Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon film series, and I think it's we're just seeing more and more evidence that this film series is not really going to be storytelling, but it might be more about preaching to the audience rather than actually trying to entertain them, as we've seen now numerous examples of them trying to push this kind of gender ideology, indoctrinate people, propagandize them, and they're doing it through a film and now in a comic. So I will not be watching Rebel Moon. I have no intention of watching it, and I would suggest that anyone else who doesn't like this type of behavior not watch it either.
Subscribe for more.